Now, when your genitals are being touched, put your hand over the other ones and stare it during that period of time.
The therapeutic strategy rests on the unspoken hand signals, and it is hoped a new pleasure language will emerge, muting Rick and Eileen's war of words.
Try to imagine you're 2 years old, you just found your genitals. What does this feel like? And don't hold back any feelings. If you happen to get turned on, you get turned on. If you don't, you don't.
The erogenous zones are a marvel of biological engineering. These phenomenal scientific pictures explore the inner caverns of a penis, where during arousal, thousands of tiny vessels gush blood into the hollow chambers, while drainage lines ingeniously squeeze shut, hydraulically pumping the penis into the state of physical erection. And here the female counterpart, a vagina photographed near the mouth of the womb. This tissue is both the sex and birth canal, and so must be highly elastic. Actually a fabric similar to the shaft of a penis. Its swelling really an inner erection, the mirror image of a man's, only buried within. These orgasmic contractions are a biological event that few women have ever seen, a hidden body secret to be learned.
So when he got to your genitals, you didn't
I let
put
him do the same thing that I had done.
Eileen's report on the genital touching is not encouraging.
So you didn't put your hand over his?
Well, I did, but I didn't steer it or manipulate it.
That's all right.
And it was pleasurable, and it was not stimulating, because I didn't want it to be too stimulating. And it was just another part of my body.
The source of the problem may be more than Rick.
Your genitals look different from every other woman's genitals. The way your face looks different.
Yes, but he'll never know that.
He'll never know that your genitals
look different than any other woman's, right? I hope he doesn't go from apartment to apartment with a flashlight.
To the trained ear, Eileen's humor betrays deep-seated anxieties.
I mean, you worry about whether your face is better looking than other women's.
She appears to be threatened by her own body.
But I didn't want to look at it.
Afraid of relinquishing self-control.
I can't think of a reason why.
Have you ever experienced anxiety?
A lot.
A lot, okay.
I'm feeling it right now.
What is making you more anxious here?
I don't feel like I'm accomplishing anything sexually.
A smokescreen. The real reason for Eileen's frustration?
Right, this is becoming a...
She has not won a verdict of innocence from the therapists.
a downer.
Only 3 days of therapy remain.
We won't make that much of a mess.
In their mutual resentment of the treatment,
I don't want it tucked in at the bottom anyway.
Rick and Eileen are now fighting as allies, not enemies.
I have to check.
You ever burn your cookies before?
They have begun to talk, listen,
Lots of
and support each other. By an odd twist of therapeutic logic, the bleakest hours may herald the beginnings of a new dawn.
We've gotten together somewhere on a wavelength. We found that. I'm not putting this down at all. It may have been this, I really don't know. Just a wavelength that we have.
An attitude.
There is a certain new attitude that we have.
Now, I get a funny feeling that I can't put into words. Something has happened between the two of you, and I don't know about it, and I get the feeling that...
Dr. O'Connor senses a breakthrough.
You've got a common pact going. Because both of you are really together today.
That's right.
Their so-called common pact is really a peace treaty, ending a 7-year sexual war.
Body posture. You were leaning over towards Rick.
Therapy vented the anger and resentment suffocating Rick and Eileen's love. They were forced to play a new game with new rules, professionally refereed and adjudicated.
Well, we were very comfortable with ourselves since yesterday. We talked between us a lot. We felt in tune with each
The
other.
goal, not
Physically,
inflicting
physically.
pain, but giving pleasure.
Tremendously in tune with each other. That's what I'm saying.
We're trying to communicate that way. When we touch and we feel pleasure towards each other, we reflect on how it used to be, and it was always pleasurable. And we know that we still love each other very much.
Two bodies have learned to remember.
I want very much to change a lot about me. And it's not because, it's not for Rick. It's because I really honestly believe.
By the final session, negative accusations have ceased, replaced by personal verdicts of self-awareness.
And I tend to maybe analyze too much. I want to change those things.
I have to learn not to hold a grudge.
Yeah.
The final judge and jury
That's what I'll have to say to myself.
were Rick and
Even if
Eileen
I
themselves.
Or even when I lose an argument, so to speak. And I think Eileen will help me, because now she knows that I will need some initiation. And not towards the sex act necessarily, but just towards a loving, touching relationship. I feel much better about communicating with you on a physical level.
You know what happened to me? I started remembering about the way it used to be at the beginning.
For the moment, back in touch.